got up at about 3:30 today. I'm supposed to teach another chapter of Acts, and I'm going to work on the Sunday actual teaching post I made Sunday after the Cathedral Mass. I wasn't going to roll out, but I'll do a little bit in between my other work. I might title this PD Central, Police Department Central. It came to my mind. I said, I'll do video. I forgot to mention, now on the Toomey case, I'll tell you a little bit about that. I'm blogging, or I'm looking for, let me see. They just killed in Mexico. Corpus Christi is known as AKA Little Mexico. That's kind of the underground nickname for Corpus Christi. So we want to get that out. That's kind of like a secret. But they killed, I noticed on the news, I think it was last night, there was a blogger, independent bloggers, and I try to look for it, and these are all the bloggers that the cops and drug cartels carried out hits on in Mexico. But I went to it, I Googled it, because I think he was 23 years old, just like yesterday or the day before. He had video of the cops doing stuff, and they tried to get the video from him, and then he wound up killed. Now, most people understand how Mexico works. If you call a cop in Mexico, they actually do normal, like, cop stuff. It's not like they don't do any regular policing. It's just they're infiltrated with the drug gangs and all this. And then if you expose corruption in Mexico of the cops, then that's when they... So there was like a bunch of bloggers at Laredo and all. These are all places very close. I used to go to Laredo. I went, not about a year ago, I went to Laredo. So that's kind of close to here. You could say cops kill bloggers in South Texas. Because if you just look on your map, that's kind of where we're at. South Texas and Mexico are like one area. Now, back to the PD Central. I remember at the fire department, though the fire phone, the fire alarm, in the early days, it changed over the years, but we used to have a real loud, if somebody called the fire line, we used to have a different number. I forget now, it was 592-2611. I can't remember it here. But then, of course, everything transitioned to 911, and then... So if the cops, and we had the lady dispatcher at the Kingsville Police Department, eventually she'd be the one that answered if there was a problem. But they would call us on their radio at the police station, the regular police radio, and then call our radio, Central Station. But it was real low. It was like a little beep, PD Central, like real low. But we got attuned with all the loud buzzing and horns and sirens. We eventually got attuned to hearing that real small beep, PD Central. And we'd wake, oh, we gotta run. And you know, it's not nerve-wracking, but your system gets used to it. And you're hoping on a Friday night or a particular night, you know, oh, I don't want to have any runs tonight because tomorrow I got a big day. After a while, you get used to it. In the Toomey case, I wanted to mention this, I forgot. After Mr. Toomey had the shit beat out of him, they had video of the cops doing it. Video, kind of, whoever took the video, and they were beating him, and they got that at the scene. Then they brought him to an undisclosed location, according to the, I think it was Color Times. Then they found him the next day that he hung himself. He died, Toomey. He was either hung himself or was executed, one or the other. They found him dead in the cell. Now, we had a lot of hangings here. That's under the sheriff's jurisdiction, the county jail. And we were investigated for the multiple of hangings. I used to think, they say, we need new money for resources and all. I used to say to myself, what, like, are you buying nooses over there? Why do you have that many damn hangings? And Toomey, they said Toomey was on suicide watch, but somehow he slipped in and hung himself. And I believe the Toomey hanging wasn't like from something those cells are made, you're on suicide watch. I think they said he wrapped something around him and then held it or something. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. Something, I can't remember the exact, we've had multiple hangings. But if you just watch the scenario, that's why the PD Central came on my mind. They were mad as hell that that guy kept calling the police station. Mr. Toomey kept calling. We got an incident. Please respond. It's going to get out of hand. There's an altercation. I don't know if threats went back and forth. I don't know if other people had guns on that scene. But he was desperately trying to get help. And then when there were shots, and Toomey killed a couple people, it was tragic. Then they came and beat his ass. And they showed the picture. The media finally released the picture. You'd never see, I posted that before. And then he goes to jail and hangs himself. I thought, you got to be kidding me. Now, the bloggers that were killed, multiple of them, I was looking for that one, multiple. The way it works in South Texas, you could now remember, we have the nickname, the underground nickname for this area. It's not publicly known, is AKA Little Mexico. The reason it's got that is because of a lot of the collusion in this area. Okay? And I've had some of my friends that have been in the bad life tell me, you know, John, sometimes people in our lifestyle have to carry out a killing, and then we've got to do the time and all. And depending how far the rabbit hole goes, the proof we have is just that one instance of, you had national media still till this day question whether they executed that judge, Judge Tom Greenwell, in his chambers in the Nueces Court. National media till this day question that. National media have other things that they've questioned in this region. And the response from this region was sort of like, oh no. Like, just because the national media is asking questions on various things over the last 5 years, the local response is like, no, this is all fixed. So I wanted to get that up. I'll title it PD Central, and I wanted you to know that the family also were the son of Mr. Toomey and his family. It was tragic. Of course, their dad's dead. Killed other people, very serious. And then they tried to get down to they wanted to find out more. Just the fact that he was brought to an undisclosed location before they found him, quote, hung in his cell. Even the hanging was suspicious. So that's what you're looking at in this region. It's not just like little questionable things. There are huge questionable things. And when I saw that blogger that they killed just this week, the cops did it in Mexico. And everybody knows that that happens in Mexico. But yet at the same time, remember, people in Mexico do call the police at times. And those cops will respond and actually do policing in various things. But because they also have all these connections with the cartels and everything else, then if you expose them in Mexico, and this blogger had video of them breaking the law, then they say, well, take them out. And this shows you that when you have levels of corruption within policing, the community, people that also know those officers in Mexico, they know them. And they're not, every cop, even in Mexico, is not like that. But it's the system that has become corrupt, okay? I got some teaching today, but I wanted to put that one up so you knew the end result. An officer was fired in the Toomey case. Maybe one resigned. I don't know if he retired or whatever, because they had them also on the video beating him. Then taken into an undisclosed location, then hung the next day, dead. There's questions on that.